Now, it's no secret that blue is my favorite color, and in particularly, I love navies and light blues. They're my favorite colors to work with, and we're going to be talking about light blue today because I feel like there's so much you can do with it. You can add gold and dress it up, or you can dress it down and go with a more rustic feel. It's really up to you and how you're feeling. So let's go ahead and look at 5 projects that I've done in the past where I've used a beautiful light blue to completely change them. Starting out is this very cute little trunk, but it was missing chunks out of its veneer, so I had to repair those and sand it smooth before I could begin. Once the repairs were all done though, it was smooth sailing with 2 layers of blue paint followed up by some stencil work. Now, one way you can dress up a piece is to add some embellishments like this stencil. I added a white stencil over the entire thing, and then on the edges I went back in with gold just to zhuzh it up a little bit. This second project was a very rickety cabinet that I didn't realize how messy it was when I bought it. It was one of those sight unseen situations. Was missing the back panel and the drawer was completely broken. So there was a lot of repairs that had to be made before I could even begin this project. But once I got my beautiful blue paint on, and after several coats, I was ready to dry brush some white paint over top of that to give it kind of a rustic feel. This is the first time I'd done that on a project, so I was a little timid at first, but quickly built up my confidence over the course of this small cabinet. Once that was finished, I went in with a whitewash over those tin sections because they seemed to stand out a little bit too much for me. So I added some white paint, wiped it back, and I was very pleased with how this cute little cabinet had turned out. And I wasn't the only one pleased. The person who bought it from me absolutely loved it, which always makes me even happier. And this next one was a doozy, and it was so ugly, but after a lot of sanding and cleaning and sanding and cleaning, I began to have at least a little bit of hope for it. Once I primed it, I was able to spray on some lovely coats of blue, leaving the inside bare so that I could hand paint it later. I painted the inside with a cream color that complemented the blue nicely. On all the raised details, I added a little bit of white, then quickly wiped it back off to just kind of highlight those areas. And in the end, it went to a beautiful young couple who had just gotten their first apartment and needed some extra storage space. Okay, so this project is actually one of my favorites that I've done. I just love the little cabinet, it's so cute, and it was my first time, I'm pretty sure, trying a raised stencil, so it was an adventure that I will never forget, and I was conquering fears and trying new things, and it turned out so great that it's a project that I cherish. Although I did sell it because I didn't cherish it that much. So obviously we started off with some blue paint, and then I added a raised stencil by using a stencil and some spackling. Once the spackling dried, I painted over it with the same blue, and then I went back in to kind of cloud up the area with some white paint before adding a bit of gold in there. I just wanted to quickly say that there will be links to the full videos of all of these projects down in the description. So if you're interested in watching the full project or in any of the products that were used, those will be listed in the description of the full videos. So go ahead and check out the description if you're interested in that. Now onward to our final piece, which is this beautiful bed frame. Well, it didn't start out beautiful, and there was a whole lot of prep work that went into this. It was absolutely filthy, and it needed a lot of scrubbing before I could start, and some sealing of rust. But anyway, I started out with painting it a dark gray. Now, my goal was to have this bed represent the spring skies. So I started out with some stormy clouds in that gray, and then slowly added in the many colors of blue of the sky. I'm pretty sure I had like 3 or 4 different blues that I dry brushed painstakingly onto these rails of the bed frame, and it took me so much longer than I ever would have anticipated. But the end result was so fabulously textured and had so much character that it might have been worth it in the end. Now, I know this video is a little bit different today, but I'm currently off on a beach somewhere enjoying a little bit of vacation time with my family, so you'll just have to forgive me for that. Let me know down in the comments which of these is your favorite project, and I'll be back to a normal project again next week. Until then, I'm Sarah with our furniture flipping adventure. Goodbye for now.